Charlamagne is number 4.
Yep.
And the two of you have been going at it. Number 1, do you believe Charlamagne is fair at number 4?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not mad at the top 5. I always say, my ego. I come from an era where I was number 1. I could have the numbers to back it up, and I sold more magazines. For me to be happy to be number 5 on the list, when my ego tells me I'm number 1 because I've been around so long and done so many great things. So I was like, I've never been so happy being number 5 my whole life. I said, I was happy. I was happy with the top 5. I thought the top 5 was a strong top 5.
So really, the issues with you and Charlamagne right now was Charlamagne felt that you were too high on the list.
Well, I think Charlamagne got a lot of issues with me, unfortunately. And I think
what are the other issues?
It's come to light. I don't know. I just don't think we like each other enough to really figure out how to be cool. We've done business together through the years, but I feel like there is a certain tension or uncomfortability between us, and I'm like, let's own it then. We don't have to be cool.
Have you guys ever had a real conversation?
Probably not. I don't know if we can. I don't know if he's capable.
He's absolutely capable.
Okay.
100%.
I don't think he wants to have it with me.
I mean, look, me and Charlamagne were actually really cool for a very long time. I was the first person to ever put him on a platform outside of South Carolina before Wendy found him. He was beefing with...
that was even before Wendy.
Before Wendy.
Wow.
He was beefing on his radio show in South Carolina with Buffy the Body. And I was putting out my beef mixtape, and on the mixtape had a bunch of little segments of various people beefing, and that was one of the segments that we had on there. And he called me up from South Carolina. I think I was in Brazil at the time. He was like, yo, bro, thank you so much. Everyone's hitting me up about this beef mixtape, this DJ Vlad mixtape. It was me and PF Cutter. Remember Street Wars?
PF Cutter?
Yeah. No, P Cutter. Sorry.
P Cutter.
P Cutter, my bad.
Cutter, yep.
And that's how our relationship kind of started. And, when he got fired from the Philly station because of the whole Cassie and Diddy thing, he came on my show to talk about it first. This was before the Breakfast Club. When he got on the Breakfast Club,
that was his last firing for the Breakfast Club.
Exactly. He never got fired after that. but me and him had this really, really dope relationship where he would be on my platform all the time. I would do Breakfast Club, and we had a falling out over my interview with No Plug. This was over the killing of Bankroll Fresh. I interviewed No Plug, kind of similar to what Adam was going through with the guy who killed Pop Smoke. I interviewed No Plug because he killed Bankroll Fresh in self-defense. But at the time, it was very fuzzy, and no one had ever done that. Like an interview with the killer of a known rapper. But my thing was, this was self-defense.
And it was proven that, right? Ultimately?
The fact that he's doing the interview was already proven. He had turned himself into the police. They went through the video footage, and they concluded that he shot back in self-defense. But Charlamagne was hearing slightly different stories and so forth. Yeah. So me and him had a public falling out because he kind of trash-talked me on Joe Budden's show. At the time, me and Joe Budden were on very bad terms. I was like, that was kind of a nasty way to do it. You could have talked to me about it.
Yep.
And we just stopped talking to each other for a few years. But like you said earlier, at one point TMZ put out the footage of the whole Bankroll Fresh shooting, and you see him in the video waving around a gun. So at one point we just got on the phone, and he apologized. He was like, my bad, dude, I'm sorry. And then we got cool again. So he's a reasonable guy.
Well, if he apologizes to me, we can maybe be cool again. But
I'll talk to him. I'll have a conversation. You can call Rory, I'll call Charlamagne.
There you go. My thing will happen quicker than yours. I bet you that. Okay, so Vlad, what would you put me on the list? 17? Get me out the top 10? 11? Put me at 11 or 12. That's where you put me. A little bit out the top 10.
Well, I got to look at the other names.
Okay. Well, the other names belong above me. You can't deny Charlamagne, Kai Cenat, Joe Budden, academics.
I mean, I would put Nori and Gilly above you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd put you after that.
So put me back at 8.
About 8, yeah.
8? Yeah, stuck at 8. Damn it.
I'm still in top 10.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Again,
That's fair.
I'm in the transitional period where I don't have the quote-unquote platform.
Right. And you have the new show,
content,
on Hip Hop DX.
Building it, brick by brick, bigger picture.
But that's still early. I feel like that show hasn't made the impact yet.
Absolutely.
Not to say it won't, but right now, and that's why I'm basing my decision of number 8.
Understood. I respect it.
Number 3, Kai Cenat.
Yes. Some people make the argument that he's number one. He's the only one who can get access to these artists that, even Joe said that humbly, like,
you could
he has
say
access
Kai,
that none of us have.
Nicki Minaj went on a stream.
Really? That happened? I missed that one, Vlad.
No, you did not. No, you did not. But you know, the fact that
Kevin Hart, even that,
Kevin Hart,
you can't deny that Kevin Hart won, the Kevin Hart and Drewski won. Yep. It's like, but here's my question to you, Vlad, and my bugger with this. It's like, I get that you can sell this narrative that, hey, these are cool kids, they're streamers, they used to play video games, they connect with the youth, now they have this big fan base. So now when they're talking to these artists, you know, and coming to their house on release night when their record's about to drop, like Ice Spice, can't we then still view them as media outlets? Aren't they now being used as media outlets, or embracing that they're used as a media outlet? Like why do we have to always act like there's some innocence that now at the point where this audience is so big, they're in the run with us. And if they're competition, they're competition. So I can't feel a way about it at times or be critical or say something because he's a kid who started the street. He's not that anymore. He's a media outlet. He got Kevin Hart sleeping at his house. Like what do you want me to do?
Right.
The reality is the reality. It's like they're going, it's like the Shannon Sharp, Cat Williams. They want to go on Shannon Sharp because the numbers are there. We're in a numbers game.
Yeah.
So now you're no longer this innocent kid playing video games with your friends, with your streaming shit. I literally could go to your thing and see the active audience at one time watch us deliver content. And my movie's coming out, my album's coming out. Dog, you're a media outlet. It's an Arsenio Hall sleepover. It's like, this is the modern day.
Yeah, no,
This is Johnny Carson.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job.
I'm sleeping at Cosmonaut's house.
It's 106 in Park, yeah.
It's 106 in Park. Like, he's a media outlet.
Yes.
He could be number one. He might be number one.
He might be number one. There's a great argument for it, and I think because it sort of started out with video game streaming, a lot of people try to downplay it a little bit, but it's more than that now.
Absolutely.
It still embraces that part of it. He still does those, whatever, 3-day video game, marathons, but listen, the Nicki's going to his platform.
Vlad doesn't make mixtapes. Elliott doesn't make magazines.
Exactly.
We don't shine shoes anymore. It's like we're different now. We're different. We do different shit now.
The Joe Pesci. The Joe Pesci.
We're not the same guys, but we're still those guys. We're still those guys.
I love
There's
it.
no mixtape dropping tomorrow from Vlad. I can't put a magazine out on your newsstand.
No, you cannot.
But
you cannot.
We're still active, so yeah. That's something. I want to be able to the point where even Ada Ross is interviewing fucking Trump. It's like, so we can't act like they're not media outlets. They're being utilized that way.
Yes.
That's what's going on in the culture.
And it's a new generation. You can't hate on it.
Yeah, that's his magazine. That's his mixtape.
Exactly. What was, because I remember you made a comment about, this is what hip-hop media is now?
About journalism, And I was clowning it because I feel like there's no balance, right? Like, I love to be like, at first it was with Drake. It's like Drake don't want to did an amazing serious sit down with me and B-Dot, Rap Radar, but then he does the Bobby thing. I'm like, who's this girl? Like, who's this white girl? And then he sits with Lil Yachty, and it's like, you're just like, you're going to do media, but in a way where you're in control of it, of your narrative, and not put yourself out there to media. Whatever outlet you trust. Like, so I have a problem with that because there's no balance anymore, right? Like, we want to go get the interview. And our instinct is to go fight to get the interview, right? We fight for these interviews. We work hard for these interviews in these moments. So you can't tell me to shut that competitive fire when that's been my whole life. How did Double XL win? Because every month I competed with the vibes and whatever was against me, Source, to get the cover of the artist at the right time. So Elliott goes for the story. And if Elliott doesn't get the story, yes, he feels away. That's who I was and who I continue to be. It's like we going for it. Like, you didn't build your platform by getting what needs to get gotten when it's time to get it.
Yeah.
So again, I just feel like there's a lack of balance of like the artists, this cool era of like artists don't have to do media. They control their own narrative. They don't have to sit with Vlad. They don't have to sit with Elliott or Charlamagne or Ebro, whoever. It's just like, I don't love that. I want more of a balance. So I get that you're going to the streamers because you see the consumption in your face. You see the audience. But I'm going to fight for us. I'm going to fight for sit with the people, sit with the platforms that are on that list that are of the culture and pick one.
There you go.
Who's your trusted source?
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
And if I lose that fair and square, that's fine. Yeah. But like this whole like skirting around the shit, it's corny to me. But was it right to do that? Put his family? It was wrong. So I apologized to him, but I didn't apologize to Nicki. And that's what it was. And people take so much time like Elliott apologized. It doesn't matter. Apology is accountability. I look at the situation and say, hey, this is what I could have done better here. It doesn't mean that anyone accepted my apology and there's no smoke still. It's the same smoke. My apology didn't reconcile anything. Nicki ain't fucking with me. Drake ain't fucking with me.
Yeah.
So my apology is not like an apology that got me to sort of like reconciliation and we're all super cool again. It's just accountability of like, these are the ways I went wrong. With Drake, it was like, look, this guy's giving me more looks than anybody, right? So if I had a problem with him, I probably should have spoke to him privately first before I aired it out publicly. That's why I apologized to him.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So, but the beef is still the beef, or the static is still the static at this time. Nothing's changed.